On May 25, 1961, President John F. Kennedy made a historic speech before Congress, declaring America's goal to land a man on the moon before the decade's end. This bold vision set NASA's Apollo program into motion under immense political pressure. The 1970 deadline seemed nearly impossible, requiring breakthroughs in rocket technology, computing, and space navigation. Engineers worked around the clock, knowing failure wasn't an option in this Cold War space race against the Soviet Union. In 1966, NASA's trajectory team discovered a critical error in their lunar module fuel consumption calculations. The simulations underestimated fuel needs by 12% due to a miscalculation of gravitational effects during lunar descent. This mistake went unnoticed for months because engineers were rushing to meet deadlines. The error threatened to either delay the program or risk astronaut lives, an unacceptable choice during the height of the space race. In March 1967, NASA leadership made a fateful choice. They would exploit the calculation error rather than fix it. The flawed equations showed that less fuel would be needed for lunar descent than previously thought. This shortcut could accelerate the timeline by over a year. The decision was documented in a classified memo signed by Program Director Robert Gilruth, acknowledging the risks but prioritizing the political imperative to beat the Soviets. To conceal the flaw, engineers deliberately altered the astronauts' training simulations. They programmed the simulators to show correct fuel consumption while secretly using the flawed calculations for mission planning. Only 12 senior staff knew the truth. When astronauts Armstrong and Aldrin practiced landings, their simulators showed proper fuel levels, masking the risk they'd face on the actual mission. On July 16, 1969, Apollo 11 launched using the flawed calculations. To everyone's surprise, the lunar module consumed 15% less fuel than even the erroneous predictions during initial maneuvers. Engineers exchanged nervous glances in mission control. Their gamble appeared to be working. The error that should have delayed the mission was now accelerating it, though no one dared celebrate yet, with the risky landings still ahead. During the actual lunar descent, Armstrong and Aldrin faced multiple alarms from their overloaded computer. The fuel gauge dropped dangerously low. They had just 25 seconds of fuel remaining when they landed. Unknown to them, this was a direct result of NASA's calculation error. Mission Control held their breath. Had they used the correct calculations, they might have aborted the landing to conserve fuel for another attempt. After the triumphant return, NASA quietly buried the calculation error. All documents referencing the flaw were classified secret and stored separately from main mission records. Public reports credited the successful landing to brilliant engineering rather than a fortuitous mistake. This white lie protected NASA's reputation during budget negotiations with Congress and maintained the illusion of flawless American technological superiority. Rumors about the calculation error persisted among junior engineers who noticed inconsistencies in the mission data. Some speculated in hushed tones that the landing succeeded only through incredible luck. One engineer later recalled seeing senior staff destroy documents in 1973, but fearing career repercussions, no one spoke publicly. The truth remained NASA's best-kept secret for decades, overshadowed by Apollo's glory. The truth finally emerged in 2006 when declassified documents revealed NASA's calculation error. Historians now believe this mistake, which should have delayed Apollo 11, actually enabled the 1969 landing by creating unexpected fuel efficiencies. This revelation rewrote space history, showing how human fallibility and Cold War pressures created a perfect storm that accelerated one of humanity's greatest achievements.